Paper Mario the Origami King is a 20+ hour Mario RPG adventure that doesn't really add anything new to the franchise. It actually instead builds off of what Color Splash offered and just kind of makes it better. Some would say it probably even is what we should have gotten with Color Splash, but instead they kind of take this in a brand new direction. So let's go ahead and talk about, should you buy the Origami King? What's going on, everybody? I'm Dom from the Game Looters, and today we're talking about Paper Mario Origami King. Do me a huge favor and hit the like button and hit subscribe to join our community. So let's go ahead and talk about Origami King. First and foremost, the game is gorgeous. This game offers a ton of different variety in the areas that you're going to have to go through as you will be progressing and playing through the game. Now, although the game is gorgeous, what it doesn't offer is a really amazing and intriguing story. When you first start off your adventure, you're going to be presented with the Origami King himself, as you could have guessed. And what the Origami King is going to be doing is he is trying to take over the Mushroom Kingdom. He's going to explode onto the scene, and he is also going to explode streamers everywhere along the Princess Peach's castle and everywhere else in the Mushroom Kingdom. And as you can expect, Mario and his friends are going to have to be the ones to undo his mess and save the kingdom from the Origami King. You're going to be provided a guide or an assistant, which is in the form of the Princess Origami, that is really just kind of like a help system that should or shouldn't be there. I personally could have done without her, as most of the time she's annoying and says a lot of obvious things, but you know, you might get stuck like I did a couple of times, and that's when she becomes useful. So overall, the story isn't anything amazing, and it's not going to do anything for the series itself. When they said Origami was going to be kind of the theme of this game, I was very excited to see on what they were able to do, and really this was just a huge letdown because they didn't do anything intriguing. They just offered the Nintendo Princess gets stolen, you have to go save Princess kind of thing, but instead Origami King comes, he does a bunch of things on the land, and you have to go and save it, and it just wasn't enough for me. One thing that did kind of save it a little bit was the writing. The writing is amazing. It's quippy, it's sadistic, and it's geared towards all ages. I found myself laughing constantly. Just a bunch of the different dialogue that you're presented with a bunch of the different characters that you come across are just going to have you laughing and rolling, and really that means a lot. It means a lot to be able to legitly laugh while you're playing a game, because a lot of the humor is really what Paper Mario has always offered, and it's going to offer you more of that here. So if you've loved it before, you're going to love it again. Now, one thing that I didn't love was the battle system. The battle system feels extremely easy, and it feels like it is geared at kind of all ages. The first 6 hours are like a tutorial teaching you how to do it. It's a board game style battle system to where you will move and position your enemies, and you'll be able to choose items on how to defeat them, and you're going to have different rounds and different timers. So you basically have a timer that you have to make your decisions in. You're going to have a round that you have to make the decisions on where to move your enemies, and you're going to be given an additional item, which I guess comes in the form of toads. And toads you go and collect all around the world, and there's just too many of them, but you're able to use them in battles, and when you do that, you're able to use coins and they will help you out slightly. Pretty useless, but the fact is, you go collect them around the world, you use them in the battle. Boss battles are really cool. They're kind of like the glowing thing, or the glowing light at the end of the tunnel. Boss battles are really cool, but they're just too few in between because, like I said, they're boss battles. So you're only going to come across them once in a while, as opposed to the battle system, which you're going to have to do all the time and slog through, because battles are constant and repetitive, and they're pretty much unavoidable at times too. Onesie twosies you can avoid, but for the most part you're gonna have to do battles a lot, and there's a lot of grinding here. So if grinding deters you from a game, then trust me, you're not gonna like this. But there are grinding and there are repetitive battles, but it's okay. They're pretty easy. You can get through them pretty fast. So as the game moves on, it's gonna get more complex. So you're gonna have more battles that are more complex, and you're gonna have to do different strategies. But it's never enough to really get you over the hump and be like, wow, I love the battle system. Really, it's easy, it's boring, it's not the best. It's one of the things that I kind of didn't like about the game at all, if I just had to be 100% honest. It just really heavily disappointed me. The one thing that was cool though were the overworld battles. The overworld battles are things in the overworld to where you have to fight different enemies like very large paper Goombas, very large paper Shy Guys. These things are presented and they're a little bit different than the traditional battle system because you have to do something like hit them with your hammer and they'll try and attack you and you kind of do like a sequence of things. Those I found really fun and they weren't often enough to where they ended up getting kind of tired and you get kind of like just worn out of them like the actual battle system. So let me kind of just sum it up all in all, kind of what Origami King is. It's a game filled with a pretty predictable and normal story that isn't going to set the world on fire. It has a bunch of really good writing that is funny and it happens enough that you will want to learn more. Along the way, you're going to be fed with a bunch of repetitive dialogue that isn't the best, but the good writing will keep pushing the story forward. The battle system is easy, there's fun to be had there, but take it or leave it kind of thing. The game is gorgeous and beautiful, and you're going to find yourself taking a ton of screenshots everywhere because this one is definitely going to be one of those timeless games that you're going to take a lot of snapshots and just kind of post all over Twitter and social media because it really is a gorgeous game. Overall, though, what I can really say is if I wasn't reviewing the game or playing to stream it, I don't know if I would even make it to the end. There was just too many boring things, and there were just times that I would just kind of put the controller down for a second, look at my phone, and when that happens too often, that just means that at the end of the day, I don't like the game, and you may be having a similar opinion to me. You may get tired of repetitiveness and doing things just to kind of push forward, and when the story isn't something that will really be good enough to push you forward through, then why play the game? Guys, we hope this review was helpful to you. We hope it helps you make a decision, and we'll catch you guys on the next video.